Hello, my friends. Welcome back. More Magic the Gathering Arena. Premier Draft. Murders of Karlov Manor. We're jumping in. We are jumping in. We're going to get another draft going here. So hopefully we can have some success. Have some fun. Got a draft token. Let's crack them. Let's see how we can do. So if you're not familiar with what we do here, we're going to draft. We'll probably play a game or two. We'll talk a little bit about our deck build and where we got to. Show you everything that we got. We'll jump into these things. And then from there, again, we might break the games out depending on how the first couple go, or we may finish this up. So it could be 2 episodes of this, or it could be 1. Just trying to enjoy the format. I've done a little bit of Murders at Karlov Manor, so excited to jump into some more, and hopefully we can have a pretty good draft here. I always like to draft at least a couple of times for any of the new sets. We're obviously also relatively nearing, I guess, sort of ish, getting towards the next set as well. So gotta enjoy this one while we can before more new Magic cards enter the field. Got our pod here. Let's take a look. What do we got? It's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting as well. Now, Flourishing Bloomkin. He's also very interesting. This is a really interesting. I'm going to take the Bloomkin, actually. That's actually really interesting, too. What do we got? Sanctuary Wall. Murder is really good. Tunnel Tipster is really good. I'm going to take this. Slice is really good. Kind of thinking a Gorehound is really good too. I'm gonna take the Slice. I'm thinking maybe a little green black action here. Well, there seem to be a lot. A lot of green and black cards coming our way here. I'm going to take the Gorehound. Got a basic land cycler, which isn't bad. I'm going to take the Topiary Panther, I think. Take the Ambusher. I anticipate we're going to see a lot. This is actually kind of the way I wanted to go with this. Try to see if we could put something together here. I do want to keep an eye out for more Gorehounds. I also want to make sure that we try to focus on grabbing a little bit of removal here, especially in black, making sure that we have some options. Bite down on crime seems really good. Rack a Scoundrel seems really good as well. We'll see some more bite down, I think. I'm gonna take this. I don't know if we'll play this. This gives us some options here in terms of color fixing, which is not a bad idea. I'm gonna take some of these. Take some repeat offender here. Take the Robobelt Maverick. I like the ability to surveil here. And then exile it, put a 1/1 counter. Seems alright. A little bit of extra utility there. Another slice, murder, the bite. We need a few removals here. Take the strength. Guess we'll take this orb. I really don't think we'll play the orb. And Vengeful Creeper. Okay. Lost in the Maze. Prophets. This is a very good card. Chalk Outline seems like the pick though here. I'm gonna take the Chalk Outline. That seems really good. Rare City Sewers could be interesting. I'm gonna take the Killer Among Us though. This guy's also very good. And another slice and Snarling. This would be a fantastic pack for us. We could take more than one card, but I think Killer Among Us is really good. Pick Your Poison could be good. That probably comes back around. Kind of like this. I also really like the Hound. I'm not too fond of the case here. Although it could be pretty good. I think I'm going to take the Agent. Got another Slice from the Shadows here. I'm going to take another Slice here. This is tough because I don't necessarily want to mill, but we can get some synergies going. I am going to take this. It's kind of interesting. Also very interesting. I'm going to take the Gorehound. And I'm going to try to go really low here, I think. taking the Bloomkin. I think these guys are just too good for what we're gonna try to do here. I'm gonna take the Savior. Pretty solid. Maybe we splash. Take the Eavesdropper. Gives us some decent creatures. This guy wheeled. We're taking him immediately. Pick your poison seems really good for us too. Maverick. I like. Sure. Okay. What does this do? I think we almost have to take that. Pick your poison. Nothing else really here. We get the Rakish Scoundrel, which is kind of interesting. A very, very good card. But I think we take the Sharp-Eyed Rookie. And it fits really nicely into what we're trying to do here. Lush Portico would be good. Oh, this is beautiful. Now there's Murder, which is unfortunate because I would like to take this, but this acts very similarly for us. So let's see what other good cards come across. Interesting. This is tough. I'm gonna take the Thrall. Almost as a hate pull. Wasn't really too impressed with anything that we had there. I feel like we need a few more pieces of removal if we can find some here. I mean, our ability to remove things. We're gonna take that Hedge Whisperer. That's really good, but I feel like we take the land just to round out our colors here. Gonna do that. That could be interesting. Pull some creatures back. Probably don't end up playing that, but I feel like we have a lot that we can do here. Trample is pretty good. Fanatical Strength can kind of just push some things over for us. I think we got a really interesting deck brewing here. No, I'm taking this. Man, that was tough. I would have liked both of those. I don't know. I feel like we need the creatures, maybe. Got Case. I'm gonna take the Pick Your Poison, I think. Land Cycle doesn't seem bad. Sure, probably not gonna play the Slime. Take the Case. Don't play that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I feel like we've got some kind of interesting synergies here built around. Not quite as much removal as I feel like I would have hoped for, but I feel like our mana base is really solid here. And I feel like we got some pieces here. We got some pieces. A couple slices good. The Snarling Gorehound. We have kind of a really good deck built around smaller sized creatures, which is really interesting. We might be able to get some things going with that, but we'll chop this down. We'll show you where we land after this. Okay, a little interesting, really, because I can't figure out what one additional card to cut here. But this is how I think we're gonna rock and roll. We have a really kind of interesting build here, working on exiling creatures from the graveyard and then creatures with strength 2 or less. So we get a lot of benefits from Snarling Gorehound here and Slimy Dual Leech, and having the ability to essentially surveil. We have a few removal spells and Slice from the Shadows and a handful of others. The biggest thing ends up being here that we probably are a little lacking on that perspective, but we play a ton off of creatures being removed from graveyards, and we have quite a few different ways to do that. Chalk Outline will make that work. Insidious Roots will make that work. We have plenty here that we can pull and we can do, and makes for a pretty interesting little deck here. So we'll see if it has any benefits, and I feel like we have a pretty solid mana base. We're running 15 creatures, 10 non-creatures at a 3 curve, so we're running 16 land, which maybe we could do without one there, but we do have some higher casting cost spells, and I want to be able to move and utilize the disguise mechanics here on a few of these cards as best that we have possible. So pretty interesting little build. That'll be the deck. We'll jump into some games. Okay, let's see here. Honestly, we're looking pretty good, actually. We can do a few different things, and we can basically play everything in our hand. We have a good first turn play. We'll have to move into some additional mana here, but Menace will be able to get some damage in. Be able to surveil a little bit. This could be pretty nice. I think we'll do Bloomkin next to be a 1/1. We could float some. I'm gonna put this to the bottom. I'll keep it on top. I think we attack here. And maybe end of turn, mill 3. This gives me extra with the stop at 2/2. Let's just get into attack, I think. That seems fine. I think we disguise this guy. Definitely keep that on top. Because if we can get to 5, then we can make these really big. This is going to work out very nicely. We'll keep up Slice from the Shadows and then our ability to do this token as well to get the draw. As we hit 5, we're flipping this guy, or we don't even get there. That was just a... There wasn't a ton of interaction back and forth with their deck, so... you know, we didn't really have to be too concerned about that. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. They had an interesting deck, I think, but I think they got slowed down by not having any swamps early on, potentially. And then just we had a lot of really small, quick creatures here. We're able to get in some pretty good damage. And then what was going to end up happening here, depending on what their turn was going to be, we either Slice from the Shadows to keep the board clear, to be able to get in a really good attack. Obviously, they could have had the opportunity to put down 2 different creatures potentially, but I feel like if they put down 2 creatures, they're probably not conceding in that point, so they probably didn't have a ton. We Slice from the Shadows, or we just decide to hit the clue, get a draw for the turn, potentially get the 5th land, and then we're turning this face up, and likely making these at least 4/4s, if not bigger, potentially 5/5s, and then really just kind of stomping it. So Flourishing Bloomkin, pretty solid. And then Snarling Gorehound, the ability for us to essentially just surveil through. Really, really strong. Sharp-Eyed Rookie, we didn't really see a ton of because we don't have a ton of creatures that get to do that. But I didn't realize this 2/2 has Vigilance, which is really, really strong. So nice little match there. Okay. I mean, these would be 2/2s. We do have a little bit of removal. I'm going to try this. This might be really, really dumb. We can surveil 1 here, which seems really smart. Okay, well, we're going to get lucky here. Our land draws. Sure. force the action here. And we'll surveil again. I think we take the one extra land. So that opens us up for Flourishing Bloomkin. Death Touch, Haste, Ward, collect evidence 4. Yeah, we'll just block here, I think. Yep. See if he decides to attack. If not, I mean, sure. These have Death Touch, so they will go. This is a 4/4 with Vigilance. Ward 2. We could play both of these. This feels fine. Mm-hmm. So now we can soul and hit the ward creatures, which is pretty good. But I think maybe we just attack. Can't be blocked unless they flip. Okay. That was a huge turn. This is synergy. Yeah, I might as well. Now it has Menace. We're looking okay here. Yeah, sure. Nice. What a good. I said a good game a little too early there, but we still win. Oh, that worked out very nicely, actually. That came together. We got a little lucky here, but we saw some of the synergy with our ability to do things with creatures in the graveyard, and then Rakka's Scoundrel was huge to be able to take down their Oxbane or whatever that thing is, Axbane. Pretty solid. So we ended up going 2-1 here, and I think we'll pause here. I really like the deck, actually. I think the only thing that I wish I had was a little bit more direct removal. So again, if we would have picked up maybe 1 or 2 murders instead of a few other cards, I think murder would be absolutely fantastic in this. We could look at pulling in another Pick Your Poison. I do have a second one of those that has seemed to have a lot of opportunities between flying creatures and or artifacts and enchantments. Even if the artifacts are simple things that they would be removing, that could be pretty good. But other than that, the deck has some great synergies. We're able to surveil a ton, which is letting us move things either, you know, into the graveyard or kind of fix our draws a little bit. Not quite as much as I would like, but fix our draws a little bit, which has been really, really nice. So kind of an interesting play. Insidious Roots this one might make sense to go and then pull and Pick Your Poison just to make it a little bit more consistent on the draws, which has been pretty good. But we've got some good synergies, so I enjoyed that. I enjoy this pretty neat little deck that we've put together here. So with that, we'll be back with another episode for some more games, so stay tuned for that. We do appreciate all the support. I'm gonna flash from Social, like, comment, subscribe. We also do a lot of booster box openings, so if you're interested in that, those go up every Wednesday. We're doing Fallout currently, I believe, and we'll have a few more before the next set releases, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And if you're interested in checking out some of our other drafts, some of our games, and again, all of our other booster openings, be sure to check our playlist for that. We have a whole ton for you to peruse on the channel, and we would appreciate it. It's a great way to support the channel as well. So again, thanks for being here. I've been Doc, Average Gamer, guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace.